Well, welcome to our work-based learning and dual enrollment panel with our juniors and seniors at Jefferson High School. My name is Mrs. McShane, and currently I am in the College Career and Dual Enrollment Coordinator position for grades 6 through 12. And we have Ms. Boland-Bray here. Let her introduce herself.
Yes, I'm Ms. Boland-Bray, and I was Ms. Boland up until this past year. Now Ms. Bray, but still answer to both. I am in my sixth year in charge of the work-based learning program here at Jefferson High School.
And what we're going to do with our panel today is we really want to share how you have exceeded the norm in terms of your preparation in high school planning. And we want to share how you have utilized work-based learning and dual enrollment options to really intentionally develop your career aptitudes and interests, because it seems like it's given you a significant advantage and a competitive edge in your post-secondary plans and also in gathering your workforce and career preparation. And so we're going to open up with just kind of introducing the panel. Ms. Boland?
Okay, first of all, we have Ryan Blanton. He is currently a senior. He completed pathways in forest mechanical systems and agriculture mechanics, metal fabrication. He has taken 2 welding courses at Lanier Technical College and is returning to work-based learning next semester. Last year, he worked at Jefferson Quick Lube to gain experience in working with the public. Ryan only needs 1 more technical college course at Lanier to earn the Flat Shield Medical Arc Welding Certification. Tuition for this program is free with the Hope Career Grant, even after Ryan graduates from high school. Currently, he is employed at Phoenix Buildings. Our next student is Lauren Sauls. She's also a senior, completing pathways in both sports medicine and pharmacy. She's earned 1 core credit, enrolled in another, and has 2 planned for her last semester. She is Hope eligible. She participates in work-based learning at Farmer's Prescription Shop in Winder, Georgia, as she pursues her interest in becoming a pharmacist. Our third student is Hayden Mays. He is a junior. He's earned 3 credits in 8th grade, one of which was basic ag, which has continued to take courses in high school, so far completing pathways in forest mechanical systems, agricultural mechanic systems, and agricultural leadership in forestry. He has taken 1 AP course, enrolled in 2 additional courses to reflect rigor on his college resume, and he is currently active in work-based learning at Jackson Electric Membership Corporation.
And we're also welcoming Ms. Avery Morrison, who is a junior at Jefferson High School. She's currently in the TAP Practicum, which is the final course she needs to complete the Teaching as a Profession pathway. And she's also completed a Fine Arts pathway, taking courses in both visual arts and drama. Avery's considering a career in education, but she's also very passionate about law and theater. Next, we have Kalani Restrepo. She is a senior, and she took her first high school business course in 8th grade and will complete her business technology pathway next semester. She intends to major in psychology and has prepared college admission readiness by earning 5 AP credits with another 4 in her senior schedule. She's also completed a world language pathway in Spanish, and she's been employed at Sohn Products Equipment since December of 2019, and currently she's earning her 2nd work-based learning credit as she continues her work there. Then we have Mallory Ware, senior, who has earned 3 credits in AP courses with another 4 in her senior schedule. Mallory has completed the Fine Arts pathway in drama, and she has taken courses in the Teaching as a Profession pathway as well. An avid and classically trained dancer, she intends to major in business and open her own performing arts studio. She's participating in her work-based learning experience at Dance FX in Athens, Georgia. So welcome to our panel. Y'all are very highly qualified, and we're looking forward to getting to know how you have incorporated work-based learning and dual enrollment into your schedule. So we're going to open up the discussion with the first question is, how did you first become aware of dual enrollment and work-based learning opportunities? And Ryan, we'll just start with you.
I became aware of it in middle school, actually, because y'all came over and talked about it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I thought, because it was free, I was like, well, I don't want to pay for college, so why not give it a shot? But I did work-based learning first for a year and a half or something like that. And then I was like, I'm going to do the dual enrollment. I did it, and I've loved it because one thing, it's free college. I don't have to pay for no more college after I leave here. That's one of the main things.
Very good. Thank you.
I became aware of it just through some friends. I just thought it'd be a great opportunity to make money in high school and then get some college courses out of the way.
For me, I learned it like Lauren did from a group of friends that I met in 8th grade. They were seniors. One of them actually used to work at Jackson EMC, and I thought it was a great idea because I get the work experience that you need to find a job now, and I also can get paid.
As Ryan mentioned, I learned about it through the school. I had musical in my freshman year, so she heavily influenced that for my class and talked about opportunities that we have in work-based learning and as well as enrollment.
I also learned through it from the school. You guys have different informational sessions, and I just thought it was a really cool opportunity because a lot of times when you work, it's hard to get those hours in during school because you have to balance not only work life but also school. So this gives you a good opportunity to do that, and that's why I got interested into the work-based learning program.
I originally heard about it from Dr. Wheeler during a Pride session. He mentioned that applications were open for work-based learning next semester, and I just needed to get one from a school, and so I went and talked to her about it. And I just thought it was a good opportunity for me because I kind of knew what I was interested in, and none of the pathways in high school I was really going to pursue, so I knew that's where I should spend my time.
And some of you have already alluded to this in your first answer, but how did you make that decision personal for you? How did you figure that it was the best decision for you? And I know that some of you have already talked about that, but anybody else have something that they wanted to add?
For me, it was mainly going in, I'm interested in going into engineering once I graduate high school, going to Georgia Tech and getting my engineering degree. And to be able to go and get that experience and be able to learn engineering before I even get into college, to me, that's something that I couldn't get if I didn't do work-based learning.
I agree with what he said. I think the same is true for me. I don't think that the other classes that we offered here specialized in what I was looking for, and I think work-based learning gives you a personalized opportunity to really focus on what you're interested in.
Can you just take a quick minute and talk about your unique situation and how you kind of blended your work-based learning and your personal interest and passions into what you think is going to be your future career?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been dancing at Dance Vex for many years now, and I kind of shifted my thinking around middle school that I wanted to own my own studio. And I've taken steps there at dance and here at school to kind of prepare me for that. And as I'm getting closer, I knew that I needed to take more time in the studio to learn kind of the behind the scenes of it. So I knew that the only opportunity for that would be before classes start during the day, kind of working as an intern for them and doing like daily tasks before real classes start at 4:30. So work-based learning was a great opportunity to get involved in stuff other than just teaching and assisting, but also the behind-the-scenes kind of office work and what goes into making a studio run.
And on that note, the next question we want to ask you is really describing how the benefits of the program have helped you prepare for your future goals, and you spoke very nicely on that. Anyone else want to talk about how this is going to blend well and what you want to do once you graduate high school?
Well, I was thinking about it. So, like, when you graduate, I'll get to go straight to the workforce. And like me, I don't like school at all. So, if I can knock the school out in high school and be done, that's what I thought about it. Because I was like, I can get my year of welding school done and in high school, and I ain't gonna worry about no more school after this because I don't like school at all. So I'm like, okay, if I can get it done, then I go out and I start working. Wow. If I didn't do it, then I have to wait a whole nother year before I can start working and making money.
So you're actually being able to enter that workforce, you're getting a whole year of salary, whereas you might, in another direction, have to pay for more tuition and lost that annual income. So that's a great fit for you. And from what I understand, you're actually in a position where you're utilizing those welding classes already. Very good. Okay, anyone else want to jump in on that?
I think that something that might persuade other people to join, even if they don't know exactly what their pathway is or what job they want to pursue, is that it looks really great on college applications. So if you're already a student who's thinking about, what do I need to look competitive? Taking AP courses, taking dual enrollment looks great, but what will set you aside is really having that college and real world experience, like working in the real world. That will really look at those colleges.
Absolutely.
And I have a question, Hayden. I know that you had an opportunity to take an online course or receive certification in drone technology. How did that go?
So right now it's going pretty good. What the main purpose of that is for when another hurricane comes in and we can't get on the roads or put linemen out there, we don't want to have their lives at risk. What we can do is we can send a drone up there and be able to find the best route for them, where those poles are down at, and pretty much it's going to make it a lot more safe when hurricanes come in, and it's going to find a lot better of a path for people to go to when they do that.
That's amazing.
And so several work-based learning students are in positions where they have the opportunity to earn certifications in different areas.
That's fantastic. So can a couple of you just talk about what is your typical schedule for the week? Because for those of you who leave school early to participate in work-based or have a dual enrollment schedule that takes you off campus, how is that different from what a typical schedule is here at Jefferson?
So I go to work 2 days a week, so I still have enough time to get all my homework done and everything, and then I have a dual enrollment class 2 days a week. So it's just really like a great opportunity to get out there and then make money and then get those college credits, but you still also have plenty of time to do things that you enjoy.
So, go ahead, sorry.
My class, I have 4 classes, or 4 days, and 2 of them are at night from 6 to 9. So I can work, because I get out at 11:50. I can work from 12 all the way till 5:30, then go to the classes and then go home. And those other days I go until 3 and then I work till dark. So you can, if you do the dual enrollment, you still have, I'm pushing 25, 30 hours a week still.
That's an incredible work ethic, Ryan. That's a lot of hours.
And another thing I should have added earlier, whenever I first started with Phoenix, I started before I got this last certification I got, he was only paying me like $11 an hour. And that's one thing, I know some people are on the fence about college if it really does anything. And I got that certification and now I'm making $23, $24
Wow.
for starting off. So like,
That's
I know
incredible.
some people are on the fence about it. I think college really does help you make more money, like they say. Because I know whenever I was in those, I was like, you don't have to have college. And now I believe, yeah, you kind of do to make decent money.
That's a pretty powerful statement, Ryan. Thank you. Anybody have anything they want to add to what he said?
He was talking about like kind of you can have a really flexible schedule, so you can personalize it to what you want. Just even if you're out of school for those, like if you have a period fourth block for work-based learning, that doesn't mean that you have to go into work at that time. You can kind of schedule it when you want to work as long as you meet the minimum 7.5 hours required per week. So you get to decide when you do your homework, when you go to work, when you handle other things as well, and it just gives you a little bit more freedom that way.
You're kind of adulting a little early.
Yeah. You get more of an adult.
Yeah.
You get to know how life is outside of school.
Yeah.
You get to know how a normal day is outside of school.
Basically.
For Kalani and Avery, I want to ask real quick. Both of you have pursued pathways in high school that you might not actually major in after graduation, but yet those experiences might help solidify or build up what you want to do. Can you speak to a little bit about that?
So I work in a office / warehouse kind of place. It's unique, I would say, to what you would typically expect from like a high school part-timer. What I really like about it is that working in an office gives you a lot of practical skills. I've done the phones a few times, knowing how to talk to like people. I work with adults, so learning to talk to people that are older with you and respect them and getting that like close-knit, like hands-on opportunity was just, it's universal, can go with any major. So I feel like this would give me the skills to just apply anywhere, no matter what path I go to. So that's why I think it's pretty beneficial. And I really like it. It fits well.
The only hands-on experience I have was going over to the elementary school, being a part of the teaching pathway, and getting to observe the kids over there, which I am very passionate about. It makes my heart happy, to say the least. But what I've thought about, as I'm passionate about law as well, is combining the two, education and law, so possibly being a college professor for law, that sort of thing. And then also going along with law and theater. Those two kind of go hand in hand as far as I don't know, really expressing yourself and just public speaking in general. So, yes.
Okay, a couple quick questions. This is pretty important for the students that are looking at your experience to maybe design their own. What do you wish you had known in 8th or 9th grade as you were starting your high school journey that you know now about your high school courses?
Credits, where you can get credits for high school.
Okay.
Because probably if I would have got those, I would probably have no classes here right now. Because I could have worked my classes earlier. And then I could have a full senior year with no classes, just dual enrollment and work-based learning.
Okay.
That's all I wish I would have known.
Very good. What else? Anybody else?
I think I kind of thought you couldn't start work-based learning until your junior year, which is true because you have to be able to drive to your job, a certain amount of hours. But when I was a freshman, I was already working the minimum amount of hours, and my parents were taking me to my job. Like I had a certain shift that I would just go to. So I think that if I knew you could start that early, I would have, and just taken that opportunity to take that course.
I think another thing about work-based learning is, sure, it's awesome to go into a job for work-based learning that like you want to do outside of high school and have your degree for college in. But working at a different place, like say a grocery store, I used to work at one until I worked at Jackson MC. I still got all the experiences that I could get, talking to people, being polite, having a good attitude at the workplace even when you're having a bad day. All those types of skills that you need outside of high school, you're still getting, even if it's not the career that you want to pursue.
Well said. Anybody else have something you want to add?
I wish I would have known all the benefits of work-based learning and dual enrollment. Instead of taking certain electives earlier, like my freshman and sophomore year, so I could take more dual enrollment classes and have more work-based learning periods now.
Okay.
I do have a question, and this is most about work-based learning, not dual enrollment. But what skills have you seen that you've learned here in courses that you've taken into your work-based learning experience and are building upon?
Some of the freshman math.
Okay.
Freshman year math, getting geometry and stuff. I never thought I'd use it, and I'm using a lot of it now.
Well, I took that pharmacy class my junior year, and now I work at pharmacy, and that class really benefited me because I can kind of understand what some of the pharmacists are talking about, and I can actually become a pharm tech when I turn 18, and so I think that class really benefited me.
For me, taking Calloway's class for Ag Mechanics 1, you learn about electrical, and at a Jackson MC, which is a electrical company, it's kind of helpful being able to know all the terminology before I got in there. It helps them teach me faster. And I think another thing, like Brian was saying, the math that you learn in the school comes very handy. I've had to do a bunch of different math, including pre-calc, which I'm in right now. I'm having to do at Jackson MC. So people say you don't use the classes that you have at high school, or you won't use them outside of work. I'm using it almost every single day, whether that be chemistry, physics. I'm using almost any class that I've taken so far.
Ms. Drew's business classes have been really helpful. You can get Microsoft certifications in those classes, and in the office setting, it just makes sense to have these sort of skills, and it's really helpful because it's less training that they have to give you. They can just give you more responsibilities in quicker times. So that's been really beneficial too.
Yeah, I wish before I started work-based learning that I actually took the business pathway instead of the education one, because what I'm doing right now seems Like that would have been really helpful to have. Just knowing how to work an Excel spreadsheet and being able to understand that is actually so important to most, office jobs that you're seeing, first-time jobs that you get into. But I also think, being able to write correctly is so much more important than people think. Like I think a lot of younger students think that ELA is like, I don't need to write like this. Why do we have to be so precise and articulate? But in the workplace, when you're writing so many emails to people, you need to make sure that you are concise and clear about what you're saying. And so those classes are really important for your job.
I'd agree with that. I think being able to send a polite and official email to somebody is very helpful, because if you can't send an email to somebody and then understand it, then nothing's going to get done as well, as fast as it can and as effective as it can be if you had sent the email as precise as you could have.
Any last advice to underclassmen who's kind of on the fence about trying work-based or dual enrollment?
Another thing with work-based, you can try jobs that you think you might not ever want to once you get out. Like, I worked at Dairy Queen when I first started, and
I'd forgotten about that.
And if I didn't do that, then if I got out and I want to try that, I would have wasted more time being like, and then I tried other jobs. I worked for my dad, and I thought I wanted to do that too, and I didn't like that either. So then I was like, okay, I got to do welding. I knew it was on the back burner, and then I did that and did my dad's, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this now, and I tried it, and I love it. So
it's all about the experience, isn't it?
Yeah, you can try stuff that you wouldn't try out of high school.
And honestly, with Ryan, I actually looked back at your first work-based learning application, and you put on there welding, that was your future goal then, even though you were trying some other places to work. But also, like Hayden said, you do learn invaluable skills just even speaking with your managers and with the public.
I've learned a lot from just my managers from Dairy Queen. Like now, I use my boss now. Like before he gets there, I'll be cleaning, sweeping the floor, whatever. And like the other day, he told me you don't have to do that. But I was like, I've learned that you always clean. You can't work with a dirty space. So now I'm using some of those skills I learned at Dairy Queen anyway, even in the shop.
That's fantastic.
I think you also, I don't know if it's just me, I learned a lot of time management skill just working everywhere. Like I worked here last year for IT, and I enjoyed it, and it helped me manage my time even better. This year, it's even helping because I get off work at 5 every single weekday, and that's helping me manage my time and make sure I can get all my assignments done and still make sure I have time to do extracurricular.
Well, I would just want to thank this panel so much. You are just the pioneer of really intentionally planning in high school, and the skills and experiences that you have shared, I think, will help motivate some of those underclassmen students who may not have a good insight into it yet. And so I appreciate your time, and we are just in awe of you. We're so proud of you and just cannot wait to see what you do with these experiences in the future. So thank you so much for being with us today.